Well, look who's here. This is Pretzel Pridecast number 4 and live. Well, if you're watching this on tape, it's not live. From Nashville, Tennessee, it's Cecelie Eiler. Hello, Cecelie.
Hello, Tim Connors.
Yeah, you called me Tim. How about that? Oh, yeah.
Shocker.
You know what? The real fun, quick story about you was the fact that when you would say to me right before you graduated, I can't wait to call you Tim. I can't wait to call you Tim. And you graduated on graduation day. And after you graduated, you came up to me and you said, "What do you think about that, Tim?" And I'm like, "Congratulations to you." And you go, "I'm never going to do that again." And it was like, all right, there we go.
And I didn't for years.
No, you
only
didn't.
Recently have I become comfortable with that.
Yeah, you'd say, "Hey, you." You would not call
Hey,
me.
you.
Hey, you.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Connors.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I am glad you're here. We're doing a few Pridecasts during the summer, and it's wonderful seeing kids doing wonderful things for helping people. And what is your job at this time?
At this time, I'm working with a nonprofit in Nashville called The Village at Glencliff, and I am the administrative data manager here.
So what do you do there?
Yeah, I'm in charge of our whole entire database, essentially. So I oversee donors, I write the newsletters, I send newsletters out. Anything that has to go into our database goes through me. So I'm kind of like the organization behind the scenes.
Okay, so you say this. Cecelie, what year did you graduate from Freeport High School?
2017.
2017. You were involved with fine arts, music, speech. Your picture's up on the wall. You do all of these fine arts things, and you're just into everything. And then you graduate in 2017, and you go to Highland Community College, right? And you do nothing in fine arts. Nothing. What did you do out at Highland?
At Highland, I was on the psychology club, actually. I was the president of the psychology club. I majored, well, it's a long story, but I went communications to psychology and then to environmental science somehow.
Okay, so environmental science, is that what you went into?
That's where I ended up.
That's where you ended up in college. So,
yep.
So where did you go to college?
I then transferred to Lipscomb University here in Nashville and graduated with an environmental science degree.
Okay, so trace back your steps a little bit.
Okay.
At any time when you were at Freeport High School, did you think about environmental science?
No, actually math and science were the two subjects I struggled in the most. I always wanted to understand them, but my brain just didn't work that way. And in fact, science, I didn't enjoy at all. But then at Highland, I met some professors in my gen ed science courses that were very excited, and they were super personable and happy. And I wanted to know all about what they were teaching me. And it happened to be environmental science. So here we are.
So this is the Pretzel Pridecast. So I always ask this question whenever we do one of these things. How did Freeport High School, whether it was speech team, whether it was theater, whether it was your classes, how did Freeport High School help you to get to where you are now?
I think it helped me in two main ways. It helped me to learn how to build relationships. I think in Freeport High School, I gained so many important relationships that I still have with me to this day. Like this one being one of the most important of them, right? I still talk to you on the regular. What? No way. But along with relationships, it also taught me how to be courageous. I think it's really scary to go into the next phases of life. And of course, we're going to keep doing that until we're no longer on this earth. And having courage throughout each of those transitions is really important. That's something I try to hold with me. I learned it from speech and theater. It's scary to get on a stage, but we did it every Saturday, every fall and spring anyway.
Yep.
And that taught me a lot.
Well, you sure did. And you know how proud I am of you. With with your job, you say, I put everything in a database and this kind of stuff. I don't want to talk about the database stuff. I want to talk about the helping and the healing that your What's the place called again that you're working for?
The village at Glencliff.
The village at Glencliff.
Yeah.
You help people. You help people. What are some things that you and the village at Glencliff do to help people in Nashville?
Yeah, so a brief description, the village of Glencliff is a medical respite. And what that means is we house medically vulnerable people who are experiencing homelessness for a time until we can get them into permanent housing. What oftentimes happens is people who are living on the streets, if they are put into a hospital for whatever medical reason, they are then discharged and they're told to go heal. And their only place to go heal is on the streets. Well, of course, you can't heal on the streets, not in the way that we need to be healing. And so this provides a solution. It bridges that gap there. How can we actually provide a space where people feel safe and are taken care of, to heal and to get to their best version of themselves, while also pumping resource after resource to get them into permanent housing so that they can eventually live the lives that we should be living, and we're fighting for the bare minimum, which is stupid, but it's where we're at right now. And eventually, once we get to that bare minimum, then we can get them even more.
So I see you on social media, and one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk to you about is this huge garden. Not to sound like, oh, you got a garden, but this huge garden. Tell me about this garden and how is this helping with medical respite and dealing with healing and resilience and all these wonderful things?
Yes, sir. Let me tell you about the garden. Long story short, the garden was actually my senior capstone project. So going into my senior year, we have a capstone where we do a lot of research on a specific subject, and then we have to create something out of that research. We have to provide a solution to whatever problem it was that we wanted to look into. And so mine being an environmental science major, I decided to go with community gardens. I really wanted to learn more about solutions on ground to bring people together that provide healing. In the village at Glencliff, I became involved with a few years ago through a class lab field trip, and I knew I wanted to work with them. And so I looked at the medical respite design that we've got here, and I said, how can a community garden specifically designed to fit the needs of our residents help them? How can it empower them? And that's what my research was about. So flash forward to now, we have this huge, immaculate community garden design called The Haven. So it's The Haven at Glencliff is our community garden, and we'll have fresh fruits and vegetables here, forest garden, raised beds. It's all ADA accessible so that if you're in a wheelchair or are not able to easily move around, we can create a space where you can easily move around. It's absolutely beautiful. There are so many benefits to gardening, especially community gardening, especially under an umbrella of a medical respite. It's very important.
I'm so proud of you with that. My mom and my dad always have gardens, and Freeport School District, Freeport High School, Ben Skipor, assistant speech coach. He's in charge of the gardens, and it's helping so many people. And they now go on Saturdays to the farmers market, and they sell their vegetables and whatever. So I love the fact that speech people have gardens and do wonderful things for people. Now, here's the deal. Here's the thing, because you know what? I can do this because this is the Pretzel Pridecast, and you are a former pretzel. You're always a pretzel. You know that.
I've got it on my arm.
Look. Hey, I thought you just were doodling on it. I didn't know. That's a real tattoo. Good for you.
It's there forever.
Ever, like luggage. Okay, so where can, that's an old phrase. I'm sorry, because I'm old. Okay, so can people follow the progress of this garden?
Yes, they can. So the Village at Glencliff, it's all posted through there. So we're on social media. If you just look the Village at Glencliff on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you can find us. And that's where all of our garden stuff is going as well. Also, if you go to our website, the Village at Glencliff, you can sign up for our newsletter. Like I said, I write the newsletters. And the Haven, all the progress is in there as well.
So it's Village at Glencliff. It's one word, right?
Well, it's on socials. Yes.
Yes.
Village at Glencliff. Yes.
Okay. GLENCLIFF, correct?
That's the one. Yes, sir.
Go on. I'm just trying to, just making sure people can see this. Now,
Yeah.
Now, I know with our garden, with Ben Skipor, a lot of people get involved, a lot of kids work, a lot of us buy things and so on. You could show this video to everybody to get some help. So how can people get involved?
That's a great question. There are lots of ways that people can get involved. If you're in Nashville and you're seeing this, then obviously you can come out and you can garden with us. You can be a volunteer with us. But I know a majority of people who will be seeing this are not physically in Nashville. So there are other ways you can be involved. And that is by sharing on socials, anything that we're posting about it. Also, currently we have a fundraiser going. We're working on our courtyard design for the Haven. And our fundraiser is currently in a Gofundme link that is being spread all around socials. So if you go to my page, or the link should be with this video as well, you can go there and you can see a lot more information about what we're fundraising for, and you can maybe give us some money, share by word of mouth. And we've also got the Village of Glencliff has an Amazon wish list, and there are some garden things, garden tools, soil that you can help, and just send it right to our door.
Well, I was going to ask you that because I'm not going to get in on this one because I think at some point I bought my Nashville Strong shirt, and I have my Nashville Strong shirt. I was going to wear it. I'm wearing the pretzel thing instead. I want to get a box, and I want to put things in a box, and I want to send it to you. So doing that, how can I do that?
Absolutely. So the address you would want to send it to is 2901 Glencliff Road, and that's in Nashville, Tennessee. And the area code, I believe, is 37211. So if you put stuff in a box, just send it to that address and it'll come straight to me at the office.
All right. Well, you'll text me that information. Since we're doing this baby off the cuff, you text me that information, and I will put that on this YouTube page for people to take a look. I think with the Pretzel Pridecast, we have had a doctor in New York during COVID. We've had medical individuals. We have had an author. But mainly, the thing that I really, really have enjoyed over these years have been watching people that started in Freeport continue to help people. And that is you, young lady. And I appreciate you, not only for all that you did, for the theater department and the speech department and Freeport High School, but the entire Eiler family in general. But I appreciate the fact that your job is to serve and your job is to help. And that means a lot to a lot of us. So is there one more thing that you have to say to anybody?
Oh, goodness. Support the Village of Glencliff. Stay involved. And also take note. Like, there are really easy ways to go about and do this in your own communities. There are people everywhere who need resources. And if you're watching this video, chances are you've got some resources and you can help someone out with those. So
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
You need to help the Village of Glencliff. And I hope a number of you, I'm sorry, I'll say it your way. I hope y'all help. I hope y'all help. I do.
Yeah.
Not you guys. I hope y'all help. I hope y'all help.
That's how we do it here.
Cecelie, congratulations to you, not only on all your great work, but helping individuals in Nashville. And I hope there are a number of people that watch this in the Freeport area that say, hey, you know what? We want to help people too, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You take care. And that has been Pretzel Pridecast number 4.